So I'll talk about two of my projects that have tried to do this. This is a film that I produced called Once Upon a Tide. It's a short educational film that was made for aquariums and museums and schools. And again, we did a lot of survey work, kind of pre-front work, talking to people and families after they watched a short documentary in a museum or an aquarium setting. And our findings told us that the kids especially were a little bored by the kind of straight documentary talking head approach. And more profoundly, they were despairing. They were scared. And it was a little overwhelming, all of the kind of straight talk about what's happening to our ocean and our natural environment. So we took that information and we decided to be a little unconventional, and we collaborated with artists to tell a story. So it's a narrative, and the protagonist is a young girl who discovers the important role of that the ocean plays in her life, even though she doesn't live near the ocean. And it was a really fantastic project. It wasn't always easy. On sort of one side of the table, I had some of the most renowned ocean scientists in the world. And the other side, I had these really creative artists. It's the same, the animators are the same ones that did the film Coraline, if anybody's seen that film. And so, you know, the scientists kept wanting to talk about zooxanthellae and really add huge statistics, and the artists wanted to put orca whales in tropical reef environments. So we had a lot of grappling, but in the end, I think we came up with something really powerful. And the film, the response to the film has been very positive. It's been translated into a number of languages. It's showing all around the world. This is a visit I did to Saudi Arabia, and these are my friends looking at an accompanying exhibit to the film. So the lesson I learned was that the creative approach is really great, and meeting people where they are. So if we want to talk to families and kids in particular, kind of going there and talking about it at their level has really been effective. The other project that I'm working on is that we are creating the first real edible community garden at Harvard. And this may seem like a stretch, you know, ocean conservation, building a garden, but I will argue that it's actually doing just that. The food sector is one of the biggest contributors to climate change in terms of how we transport our food and how we produce our food in the world. And then how we produce our food is also leading to direct overnutrification and creating dead zones like those in the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico. So I think that building a garden is a great thing to do for the ocean. I also think that what this garden in particular is inviting the local communities, school groups, and as well as the students at the college, graduate students, faculty, sort of bringing the whole community together to grow food. And my theory is that a young person who goes through the experience of taking a seed and planting that seed and taking care of a plant and watching it grow and then harvesting the food, cooking the food, eating the food, serving the food to someone they love, that person, I think, is less likely to throw a plastic bottle into the ocean. So I don't have any empirical data on that. I'm not positing that we do a study, but I just think it's about building that nurturing and respect for the natural world. And this is one way in urban areas that I think we can do it really effectively. This is a vision of the garden that was drawn by one of the Graduate School of Design students. I also wanted to say that, to me, the garden is a communication statement. And I think that all of you who help work with parks, I think that those are statements, and that this is in a highly trafficked area of Cambridge. So someone just passing by who glances, sees a sign, sees that we're growing food in the city, you know, it could be just a few seconds, a minute, but that garden is saying a great number of things. It's saying we're coming together to grow our food, we're building community, we're addressing sustainability, we're cutting down our food miles. All of that's happening even just in a couple minutes. So again, to me, this is about communication. So I always end my talks with this picture. This is my daughter on a beach in Bermuda, where my family is from. And I love this picture. This is the picture I sort of take with me even when I'm not looking at it. I hold it in my head and in my heart, because it captures to me exactly what all of us here are working on. She is in dialogue with the ocean, and totally connected and together with it. And this is what I hope for her, of course, but for all of our children and all of our children's children, that we understand that we can have this. And that, to me, is a picture of health, that is well-being, that is happiness. She doesn't need anything right there. She is there. And then for me also, it's really particularly an honor to show this slide right before Richard Louv presents, because his work on getting children to have these kind of experiences has been very powerful for all of us. And this is sort of an antidote to nature deficit disorder right there, I think. So I think I'll close there. Thank you so much for coming.